welcome to the Forza World Podcast. We are on episode 6. Andrew is not, unfortunately, here tonight.
This is Jason talking. When I say words, this is Jason.
And this is Aaron.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
I am the dumber of the voices. But yeah, no Andrew this week. Andrew is out hanging in PEI with his brother and I think the rest of his family. So good stuff there.
Potato Land.
Potato Land, yeah. So just the two bulls this week. You know what we can say?
What?
That last weekend was sick. It was unreal.
Oh, race weekend?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, what we're talking about, if you don't know, if you haven't heard us talk about it for the past, 5 shows.
Yeah.
IMSA race weekend up in Bowmanville, Clarington, whatever, same thing. It's awesome.
It was really
sports car
cool.
racing. It was great.
It was more than just sports car racing because those are vintage Formula One cars.
There was, which we thought were just going to be chilling there, but we got to watch them do 2 practices, qualifying in a race, or 2 races.
2 races.
So it was crazy. Yeah, the sounds. So they were late 70s, I want to say. 2 John Player specials. They were all authentic chassis, which was crazy. And one of them was actually a James Hunt Grand Prix, won the Hungarian Grand Prix in, I don't know, around there. Still sick. I mean, the whole weekend, too, as far as cost goes. I think we kept it under $300 a person. So it was pretty cheap. Like, that's all in. That's lodging, that's food, that's drinks, that's everything. I don't know of any race series, really, where you can go that cheap. Even, like, NASCAR is not bad. I don't know if you can do it that cheap, though.
Well, and even the racing in NASCAR, the racing's exciting, but it's nowhere near as involving as the race weekend that we were at, because with the Formula One cars, they had their own little paddock and the tents and all that stuff set up. It's
like, you just have crazy pit stalls.
Yeah, but you can walk up to the cars casually.
In IMSA, you can walk in the paddock. Yeah, and you can't really do that in NASCAR, right? As modern as the process has become in NASCAR, not to say it's always been like old school, like I know a lot of the materials have been, but I mean, they really stretched it as much as they could with the materials they were given.
Center locks.
So we're saying, like, you know, the actual racing procedures are really sophisticated now in NASCAR. Same with IMSA. But I mean, you just can't do that. You just can't walk into the paddock and then there's cars buzzing by you. There's carts honking at you. Like it's very, as you said, involved. Yeah, really.
And it's cool because it gives you an experience that you wouldn't normally be able to do. And when they had the pit walk, where they had all the cars lined up for the pits, they had teams there. So you could go up and you could talk to the team. You could, talk to the driver. You could talk to the crew chief and basically ask whatever questions you wanted to about these cars. And you could even ask, hey, can you open it up? I want to look inside. I want to get some pictures of the interior. Like, how much does a door weigh? And just ask them ridiculous questions like that. The one Heart of Racing Aston Martin that was there, the GTAM Aston Martin was there. And I was like, how light are these doors? And the person that was there, he's like, oh, I don't know, like they're pretty light. And I was like, oh, really? And he opens it up and he's swinging this door back and forth. And he's like, look how light this door is. God. And I was like, dude, this is like a $400,000 or $500,000 car, and he's just swinging this door back and forth. Absolutely hilarious.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. And he's like, here, feel it. And I was like, what? And he's like, feel how light this is. And he just hands me the door. And
wow.
Weighed absolutely
and you're just
nothing.
Passing by.
Yeah. Wow. Just walking. Well, it was the same as the Aston Martin. They had the GTD and the GTD AM.
Got it. Yeah. So they did that, the same sort of system. And the guy was doing the same thing when he was given the tour of the various systems of the car. He was like lifting this door up. It was doing like workouts with it. I was like, holy cow, this thing's light.
Well, he was spinning it around like one of those people with the signs on the side of the road.
Yeah, it looked like he was selling it like weed or something.
Yeah.
All the weed idiots outside selling with the signs. Yeah.
I don't know if you see that in the States. Maybe in the parts where it's legal.
Yeah, that's true. It is only
all over Canada.
It's a very odd thing. Usually it was for like hot dog places. Now it's for weed places. So anyways, getting more back on topic. Let's actually, so they gave us a whole tour of like the car and like of their like pit area. Yeah. And it was really cool, man. They were explaining how the drivers, like one of my questions was, how do the drivers stay cool? Because I know that there's different cooling systems in place, but I don't know what they are, how they look like. And the car was kind of torn apart. So they were showing like some ducts and everything in the car that kind of channels air to the cockpit.
The driver, yep.
I didn't know that they wear like kind of this cooled coil system in their shirt. I did not know that. I thought they just blast it through the helmet, which they also do.
Yeah.
And I believe there's some other little cooling systems like that as well. But they were saying even in Sebring, the cockpit still gets up to 120.
Which is insane, man.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I know that's not the driver, but the fact the cockpit's 120, that is like next level focus.
Yeah.
You want to talk about like these guys aren't athletes, like give me a break.
Oh,
being able to maintain focus while
athlete.
Experiencing that G.
Yeah.
Come on.
In that heat.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how you can make decisions when it's that hot. I just want to sleep and go home when it's that hot. So no, that was crazy. But you know what? Honestly, the whole experience we had, first of all, I mean, the GOAT. Shout out Sam Fellows.
Oh, Sam, man, the whole experience was so easy for us. Like there was no part of it that seemed difficult. Like everything was just laid out. So Sam, if you're listening, thank you a million times. It was absolutely incredible. We had tons of fun. The accessibility that we had was incredible. The Michelin tire tent, that was really cool. There was some really cool.
The tech tent as well.
The tech tent.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
Very transparent.
And everyone was, the IMSA workers were so open and professional about it. Like they didn't seem like they had to really dumb it down for us, which was nice.
No. If we wanted to have some pretty heavy conversations about like camber and tow and everything, they were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, these guys are noobs, right?
Yeah.
That was cool. But I think what really struck me was, the access we had, the whole hot pit experience and everything was obviously insane. But it really highlighted how easy that whole weekend is. Because we took a bunch of our friends down that didn't have the access we did. They were still able to see pretty much everything we saw.
Yeah.
And it was just as easy for them. Like we came and went as we pleased.
Yep.
Right? Like we were,
Well, we went down to Toronto for the one night. The one evening we drove down. Under an hour. Yep. There and back.
So picture that, right? Like, I mean, we go to the weekend, or go to the track for the weekend. We order a trailer straight to the track. So none of us had a tow hitch, but we were able to get the trailer delivered for under $900, split between 6 people. So it was really cheap. We got a bunch of food.
Bunch of food.
And Costco. Shout out Costco.
Okay, granted, the bunch of food consisted of eggs, bacon, hamburgers, and hot dogs. I was so over red meat at the end of that weekend.
Yes, I know. It was a couple stir fries for me for the following week.
It's definitely a couple salads.
It was cool because you have that experience, and then less than an hour away, we had Toronto. We went to Real Sports and we watched the UFC fights, and we had a little night out in Toronto, which was great.
Oh yeah,
awesome. Honestly, it was so easy getting in and out. And you know what? We didn't see a lick of traffic.
No,
we really didn't.
No,
I don't think we were stuck in traffic once coming from that side. You come through Milton, which was the south end of Toronto. Yeah, you're going to get tanked probably. But I mean, we went through at like 9 o'clock on a Saturday on the long weekend, like on the Canada Day, America Day long weekend.
Yeah. And I think the most amount of traffic that we hit was when we were entering Toronto. And that was about it. But we didn't drop below.
We didn't slow down.
We didn't drop below 60K an hour.
No, it was crazy. It was awesome. So, I mean, it's just the best weekend, man. Like it's just hanging out with the boys, having some food, some great weather. Even the one day it rained, we still had a blast. It was awesome. It didn't even rain for that long, granted. But, geez, man, we had just so much fun. Can't thank Sam enough. I'm just saying, having that hot pit access on race day. Like, they're making pit stops, and it's actually very meaningful. And I'm standing right there like an idiot, being like, I wonder if my Zoom will work on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy that I was able to be that close to all these things. I got like NBC guys walking around me and everything, like bumping into me. It's perfect. And I don't know, man.
The teams were nice. The teams understood that, we were walking around and we wanted to be part of the action, and they were fine with it. Like, as long as we were staying out of the way and we weren't doing anything stupid while we were there, they were fine with it.
Yeah, we were pretty out of the way, to be honest.
Same thing with everyone else that was there watching the race. Like, all of the other spectators were all super nice. There were a couple guys that I ended up talking to.
I wish we got their names.
Oh, I wish so. But when we were doing the track walk, they were walking around the track and they were throwing frisbees and footballs, and we ended up walking back to their tent and they're like, "Hey, you want a beer? You want some pulled pork? You want a drink? Like, let's just hang. Oh, we're gonna get a fire going. Yeah, throw some stuff on the fire," and just hung out for a good hour and a half and talked. Yeah, so it was great. Like everyone there is super friendly. I don't think anyone, irrelevant to how much race experience you have, irrelevant to how much you enjoy racing or watching it, even if you're not a car person, going down there just for the experience is a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, to really illuminate the situation for you, we had a group of about 8 to 10 people, and I believe 2 of them were wearing Gucci shoes.
Yes.
So there was definitely hardcore race fans, and there was definitely people who just got invited and knew they were very open. They knew nothing about racing, and they loved it. Oh yeah, they loved it. It was so sick. So yeah, you can go. This is just. It's the same thing. All my friends always ask me, do you want to go to an EDM festival? Do you want to go to a country music festival? And I always say, no, I don't want to go. I don't like the context. And they say, well, you don't even have to listen to the country. Well, you know what? It's the same thing for the race. If you don't know anything about racing, you're going to hang out with your friends. You're having a good time. You're having some drinks. You're enjoying yourself. And I mean, honestly, even if you like the genre of music you're going to, I don't think you can beat getting waken up by a vintage Formula One car at 8 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And then being able to just cook your own food. Like, it's just so awesome. I don't know. And you know what? Piece de resistance, by the way. So we did end up getting our ride around the track.
Oh, in the C8 Corvette.
Sam, buddy. Jesus, thank you for kicking the back end out on that hairpin.
So I recorded that video, and it was so difficult because I had my phone.
Oh my God!
I was recording on my phone, and the corners that we were taking. First of all, I would absolutely love to go down and be in the driver's seat and have Sam or Ron or a professional driver.
Oh my God! If Ron would have drove me, I would have thrown up.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
He would have been full sending it. But
just cool factor too. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
On the back straight, Sam and I got up to I can't remember what miles an hour, but it was like 230 kilometers an hour that we ended up getting back up to on that back straight, and then just slammed on the brakes. And when you're in the passenger seat and you have someone driving absolutely insane, you don't have the ability to prepare for what's coming. And going around the track, both Jason and I know that track layout. Like we know the track layout 100%.
We know the elevation changes.
Elevation and all that stuff. But when you're in the passenger seat being thrown around by a professional like Sam, and he's taking it to, I wouldn't say the ragged edge. Like there was an element of safety involved.
Yeah, like I didn't feel like he was like really that tight on the limit of grip, but he was definitely like flirting with it. Like you can feel when a car is like on that edge, but it was just.
Well, you can hear it. You can hear the tires.
You can hear them. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely insane.
It's very difficult to prepare for the G you're about to feel. It wasn't a ton. It's just like Aaron says, when somebody else is driving, it's just so hard to prepare for like how much it's going to move you. And I mean, there's like a really crazy drop into a hairpin. So it's a directional change along with like the G itself. Yeah. And like elevation and direction. Sorry. Yeah. And oh my God, yeah, I almost like fell over. When I got to the car, I was like, woof. Actually, yeah, it's on the Instagram.
It is on Instagram. Walk. You can't walk. So, yeah. So I felt the exact same way.
It was just, it was wild. So shout out Sam for a great weekend.
If you're not following him on Instagram, if you're not following CTMP,
yes,
if you're not following IMSA, there's so much stuff on their pages. Sam does a lot of different types of racing, and he's always updating the community about it. And it's fun to follow along. Like you don't have to know anything for it to make sense. Like it's just an enjoyable guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So great weekend. I think it's a good play if you live around there to just go to various events, because I know we will be. Yes. I know we'll be trying to branch out a little bit more. We know IMSA primarily. We know a little bit about NASCAR Pinty Series. They already went this year. But we're going to try to go to more events. We're going to try to get to that track a lot more. It's something we've discussed. I think it'd be great. I think, definitely follow along with CTMP. There's some really cool things that you'll probably learn to love, I would think. But anyways, yes, we had a great weekend, great time. Actually, we had a great time yesterday.
Yes.
To be honest, I forgot that was even yesterday. I thought it was today for a second. Cars and Coffee, Porsche, the routine, the monthly routine, even though we weren't there last month because of the Formula One race.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy that just routinely you have McLarens and Ferraris and Lamborghinis showing up at the show just for fun.
Yeah.
Right? You think it'd be like a once a year thing. This is a monthly show where we're getting like well over 100 cars.
Oh, well rare over 100 cars. Yeah.
Rare cars. And that embarrass mine, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, yeah, killer. Great time. Hosted by Porsche of London. We had a wonderful time with them as always. I love the sugar cookies.
Yes.
They're so good.
And the banana bread
good.
has chocolate chips in it, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that. But
I like the banana bread.
That's for another podcast. That might be for a complaint corner. But it was awesome once again.
Yeah. And the again, the staff of Porsche London is super great, super friendly.
Putting that on every month. That's
every single month. And it's tiring for them. Like, first of all, they're closed Sunday. So all the staff that goes in on their day off. They get all of the cars prepared in the showroom.
Paid. I don't know.
I'm not too sure. I don't know. I wouldn't care. Like, I would love to do that every month. No, it's just an
interesting bit of logistics.
Yeah,
but it's a great event.
It is.
There's a lot of really killer cars there. The people are awesome.
On that Carrera GT, I don't know if you saw on Instagram. It's still there. $2 million.
I sat in it.
You sat in it.
Jeans.
Yes.
I was terrified getting into it. I was terrified getting out of it, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, most expensive car I've ever sat in. Bar none.
Yep.
You were saying you sat in a P1, which is
yeah.
very, very close in cost. I think it's kind of a toss up between the two.
It is. And like, value nowadays, like if you were to buy both of them right now, it's going to be very similar. You're both spending around that $2 million US mark.
I think 15 years on, the P1 might be worth more than the Carrera GT, though.
I think so, yeah.
But just based on the way like the values are right now, but still cool. They're both unreal. Actually, quick shout out to our boy, Laser Media. I'm sorry, we can't remember your name right now. I can't think of it. We met a couple people that day, but shout out to him because we do have you on Instagram.
Yep.
Noted Forza World fan. Had a nice chat with him. Great guy. Took some really cool pictures, actually.
Yep.
I was looking at his pictures.
He's a good photographer, 100%.
Very. So that was really cool. We always love seeing you guys. I know there was a couple actually at the CTMP race that we weren't able to meet up with, but pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. But it was a good show, man.
It was a good show.
We're looking forward to it. They got a big one in 2 months.
Yeah, September 17th is going to be the big date. Now, that date hasn't necessarily released yet, so that's kind of like a in the works
That's a hush
thing.
hush
It's
thing.
a hush-hush thing. I don't necessarily think it's a hush-hush thing because it is going to be happening. But that is going to be the big event. So if you're listening, if you're around the area, like even if you're like Windsor, Guelph, Toronto, Kitchener-Waterloo,
Niagara region.
Yeah.
If you're in Buffalo, I would honestly make the trip.
I
Same
would
with
make the drive
Detroit.
up.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, you're going to see some 918s. There's no question.
I would not be surprised.
Plural,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I would be making the trip. If you're from Toronto, it is a very quick, brisk drive down. On a Sunday morning, you are not touching traffic.
No, not at all.
So I would be doing this, honestly. This is definitely one of the bigger shows. This is getting a very big reputation for a reason.
Yep.
Like, put it this way. There was a couple LTs there the last time, some McLaren Longtails. They shoved them in the back with a bunch of Nissan Versas, okay? They were not even close to being the star of the show. That's how nice, I believe 2 months ago was. Or May, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 months, okay. So get there. That's all we're saying. Come see us. We're, just refining our setup a little bit more, I think, for those kind of events.
From event to event, we're getting there.
What we just tried this past show worked. So we've got the process. We're going to be interviewing some people. We've got some stuff we want to put up.
Yeah,
it was hilarious, and we really want to share that experience, like at Cars and Coffee. Also driven too,
and driven as well. Yeah, but from event to event that we're going to be going to, we're going to be refining the setup. But we very much enjoy seeing you guys. We like having it's so cool for us to have that recognition, and seeing you guys and talking to you guys and hearing your side of the story. And when we did the Instagram live, you guys were involving. You're like, hey, fuck that car. Oh, good.
You guys know the segments. No, it's cool to see, and certainly for an event that's going to be that big, we want to see you guys there. We want to see your guys' pictures. We want to share not just the Forza pictures that you guys take. We want to share the real ones too.
Oh yeah,
honestly, at some of these events. So
yeah,
get there. I mean, merch is something we're kind of thinking about too. So I mean, maybe we'll bring a couple shirts along with us and see if you can fit in a large. But
yeah, if we can get the merch going by then, which I think we should by September.
We've got some plans. We've got some, like we say, we've got some big stuff coming. Next 2 weeks, you're going to see a couple big things. Time of writing, this is July 18th.
Yeah.
We've got some really cool stuff on the way. We don't sound like shit anymore. So,
no.
I mean,
that's good enough. Progress in and of itself. Exactly. I mean, you go 2 episodes back from this, in episode 4, I sound like I'm in a Wendy's drive-thru.
Oh my God. No, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's just brutal, man. But you know what? I don't have a complaint yet. I have somewhat of a complaint though.
Okay.
And I don't think it's anybody's surprise that when we shift to Forza talk,
yes,
it starts with complaints. But what my complaint was going to be, I think you know what I'm going to say here.
Was Hot Wheels?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I just found out that the Hot Wheels pack drops tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
July 19th.
Well, I don't want to say I found out, but I remembered.
July 19th.
And I don't, I care, but I kind of forgot I cared, to be honest. It's been a month.
I was going to say, it was announced a month ago.
Yeah. I thought that was a really dopey time to release that. I didn't think it at the time. I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. But honestly, I don't know. It was a really big media push when that launched or the announcement happened. And we were fired up.
Yeah.
Properly.
Yeah.
Everybody was.
Everyone was.
And I just completely forgot about it. And now that I remembered it's tomorrow, I don't know how much I really care. I'm going to play it because I want to see, but I'm not setting an alarm and looking into when it launches. I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
And that's a shame, dude. That was a really big pack. That was just a terrible botched launch.
Yeah.
I've seen no media. It's just little stupid things.
That with the trailer,
hype videos,
and the trailer as well. When that trailer came out, we do have. So if you play Forza Horizon 5 and you go to the hover over the Hot Wheels expansion thing, by the time you're listening to this, it's going to be out. So you might not be able to see the trailer. Good. But we're going to be posting the trailer, so you're going to be able to see it on the Instagram page. But the trailer in game that it showed you was way better than the trailer that they released publicly.
We didn't talk about that yet.
We didn't. We haven't. No.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we posted both. We did.
We haven't. Not the new one.
We didn't.
No. We posted the old one. Yeah, we haven't. It'll be up by the time you listen to this.
Yeah. So actually, I know why I saved it. I'm not stupid. I thought I was dumb for not posting it. I wanted to save it for release day.
Oh, smart.
That's why I wanted to do it. And now that I think about it, that's probably what the playground should have done.
Yeah.
You put the biggest hype video the day of the game.
Yeah.
And you have a buildup of media.
Or
you
even,
do
even
just
the day before.
Black and white Forza logo on Instagram.
Yeah.
Date, July 19, 2022. It's coming. You're oh my God.
Well, and that's the thing, because you won't know what's coming. Even if they just did Horizon. Yep.
And then no cars. Just drop the map.
Yep.
And then you just do the outline of the Diora. And you're oh my God.
Man.
And then you come out with a killer, actually maybe the day before you do the video, everybody freaks out and then you're counting down the hours. Yeah. That is how you do.
That's how you release something like that.
I am available for work, by the way. just letting you know. So I'm just saying that would have been a better way to go about it. I don't want to say I don't care. I don't care nearly as much as I did. I definitely forgot about it.
Yeah.
We've got every notification for Forza on to let us know news. And it's just been nonsense.
They posted how they were going to do the announcement live stream.
But I don't care. I don't care about that stuff. I don't have 2 hours to listen to somebody play a game that I want to go play.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. Honestly.
That's true.
I'll watch the highlights. I'll watch somebody else break it down for 20 minutes.
Yep.
Right?
And that's it.
That's it. And
and then you're just going to go and play it.
So we're not going to break it down.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we will on the podcast, but 2 weeks after everybody else does.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see any of that. I don't know. That's how I look at things. Maybe it's a very old school way. Maybe everybody's thinking I'm a boomer for the way I look at streaming.
Maybe.
But
I'm on the same page as you are. Genuinely, because Series 10 and the Hot Wheels expansion are releasing tomorrow, and Series 10 has 10 new cars that are releasing with it, And they just released those, and it releases tomorrow. So all of the new cars that are coming, they released today. It got to the point where they released it, and it's happening tomorrow. That's the way it should be for big releases like this. For something small, at that point, you can be like, hey, in Series 10, we're going to be bringing 10 new cars in. But we're not going to tell you what those 10 new cars are. We're just going to let you know that we're bringing 10 new cars. And then you drip feed them to us.
Yes, that is a good point. I've never thought of doing it like that.
But, maybe it's just our way of thinking. Maybe we're, maybe we think like boomers. But it's to the point where they released the trailer, the announcement trailer for Horizon Hot Wheels about a month ago. We forgot about it. And, again, we remembered and we're like, oh my goodness, yeah, it is tomorrow. I work tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to play it.
No, man. I mean, most people have lives, and it might sound, I don't know if selfish is the right word, but I don't know, man. Like we have other priorities. Most players have other priorities, and there are going to be a lot of you out there that are maybe 16, 15 or under, and you have no responsibles, which is cool, obviously. It's fine. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Like, you guys got stuff to do too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, you got sports to play. You got, I mean, you don't have school right now, but like, you've definitely got, like, you want to go hang out with your buddies. You want to go fishing. You want to go do something. You want to
go play hockey. Go
hang out. Like, it's like 38 degrees outside. It's like, I'm going to have a nap. Like, I don't know. Stuff like that. Like, life happens.
Yeah.
And there's just, I think there's this assumption that Forza is life for a lot of people, and nobody can consume all of that.
No.
Like, you have to be much more selective and have your content make a bigger impact instead of just having a complete media blast and then hoping that people catch 20% of all this crap that gets put out.
Yeah.
And especially if there's pages you don't interact with a lot, or there's pages that make a lot of posts that you didn't interact with a lot, it doesn't get suggested to you. So I miss a decent amount of Forza stuff sometimes that you catch and let me know, or vice versa.
Yep.
Just because there's a lot of stuff that just like goes under the radar. They also post at weird times, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed that, especially for Forza Motorsport. We love you guys, but like, they tweeted at like 11:30 p.m. last night. That was really weird.
There is a post of Forza Motorsport on Instagram that I do want to talk about.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, why don't you explain that? Because I'm still laughing at that.
So if you listened to our podcast last week, the segment that we have, Fuck That Car, we talked about the Hyundai Veloster. And
terrible.
Granted, it has merit. In most situations, like, the design is odd. The fact that it has 3 doors is odd.
It's an odd, stinky car.
It is an odd car. So Forza Motorsport ended up making a post about it today, July 18th.
Which is 2 days removed from the release date of that roast?
I think so.
I believe it's 2 days, less than 2 days removed.
Yeah. So the fact that it was, the odds of Forza listening and being like, yeah, we need to make a post about the Hyundai Veloster, which is the very car that these guys complained about 2 days ago. I could see it, but I'd be skeptical.
I don't know. Basically, if you didn't listen to the last episode, we tore a strip off of this thing.
We did.
We really did. It was like a 10-minute bit. It was the longest one we've had. And
apart from the smart cars. The smart cars.
The smart car one was, I actually had to edit a lot of that.
I think so.
But okay, all right. So second hardest roast that we've had, and they put out a post just pumping this thing up.
Yeah.
Being like, what are you on Team Veloster or whatever? Or something like that.
Veloster Nation.
Why are Hyundai Veloster drivers basically just Walmart brand Subaru drivers?
I was going to say
what is up
Subaru
with that?
drivers.
Anyways, it is kind of a coincidence that less than 2 days after, they have like a completely opposite narrative of like the Veloster N and the Veloster itself. I don't know if that's a master troll job by Forza.
Well done.
Listening to this, well done.
That
was hilarious.
Yes. If
you are listening, if somebody, I would think somebody from there is listening, just to make sure we don't say anything too crazy.
Maybe.
The game. There's got to be somebody. Shout out if you're listening.
Yes,
but
we appreciate you. Imagine.
Hilarious.
Because so we both know the car for Fuck That Car Tonight, which is going to be coming. We'll get there.
Yes.
I could just imagine if they end up releasing that into Forza.
Okay. Listen, if this car, I can't talk about it right now. I can't talk about it right now. I'll get too angry. I got to complain about other things first, man. I have other things to complain about.
You do.
Like, I had a terrible drive home today from London.
Okay.
Terrible.
So are we moving in?
Yeah.
Okay. Cue the music.
Okay. Yes. It's a good song, honestly.
It is a good song.
So, listen, it's not going to save my anger, though, as much as I like this song.
No.
Because I'm on the way home from London, and I kind of forgot I had the same problem on the way down. I am so sick and tired of all these stupid truck drivers with their grade 10, maybe a grade 11 education that are just bombing down the highway and decide, as of right now, I understand there are 19 cars about to come behind me, but I'm going to go to the left lane right now and proceed to pass the truck in front of me at 2 kilometers an hour difference.
Yes.
What is up with that, man?
Oh, yeah.
I am going to lose my mind the next time I see it. I was in the bend, so I couldn't really be too gutty. I had to kind of stay back and not honk my horn or flash my lights or do anything like that. But dear God, what do you accomplish? We need action. We need regulations. We need some, I don't even know, like not a speed limiter, but like if you have to do 110 kilometers an hour. Everybody's got to do it. No excuses. You go under, I don't know, you lose your license. If you go over, you lose your license. Everybody's got to do the same goddamn speed because I'm telling you right now, you are making no extra. Well, you're doing 2 kilometers.
You're doing 112 rather than 110.
I know, but I'm saying over the course of an hour, you gain 2 kilometers. Wow, you're sick. It's not like that takes literally 3 minutes or 2 minutes tops. If that. Under a minute. So you're an idiot. That's kind of my point here. As I hate this, it makes me so angry. It riles me up. And all you do is you have now 2 lanes of just kicking stones back at my car. And I hate it. I think even if I was in my car that looks like a computer mouse, I'd still be equally as irked. Oh my God, it's for like 6 minutes. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you do a 20, big math guy this week, by the way. If you do a 20 kilometer an hour speed difference, so I'm going 100 instead of 120 for 5 minutes, at what time is Jason late for his appointment? That's what I have to say. Because, dear God, that's the most annoying part of all of it. You hold up traffic for no reason. Like, your gain is so minimal. Like, it's just so dumb. Just wait for cars to, I don't know. I hate it. That's Complaint Corner for this week. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Fair enough.
It fires me up too much. My God.
So... moving on, I do want to talk about a couple vehicle releases. Please. Now, at this point, I'm sure everyone listening has heard about these 2 vehicles that I'm about to talk about.
Have I heard of these vehicles?
I'm pretty sure you have.
Okay.
Because they're quite big news. Now, the first one is from America, and it is a Ford. So it is the Ford F-150 Raptor R.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
I haven't even heard of this.
Okay. So when Ford, remember back in 2000, I think it was 2015 when they did the redesign of the F-150.
Yeah.
They came out
after, actually.
Yep. Yeah. They came out with the F-150 Raptor with the V6 rather than the V8.
Yes.
And a lot of people were upset about it. And they're like, this isn't a real Raptor because it's not a V8. And everyone was complaining about it, even though it was way quicker and way more efficient. People were just losing their minds.
Same thing with angry.
Same thing with the Ford GT. Like, yes, okay, it's a twin turbo V6, still an unreal car. People were upset. Then they came out with the new Ford Raptor. So for 2022, they came out with the Ford Raptor, and it still had the V6. Now, when they came out with that, they teased the Raptor R because at this point, Ram had the Ram TRX. And I know that everyone's like, it's pronounced T-Rex. No, it's pronounced T-Rex.
Oh, I'm so stupid. No. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pronounced T-Rex. I don't call it the T-Rex.
Though. It is. I don't like knowing that.
No, it's okay. Sorry. I call it the TRX.
Continue on the Ford. Sorry.
So I call it the TRX, but if you open up the hood, then there's a stupid picture of the T-Rex eating a Raptor, and they're like, look, we're funny.
I don't want to know anymore. I didn't know that. I hate it even more. Just continue with the Ford. I can't take that.
So the F-150 Raptor R. So basically what they did is they took the Predator engine from the GT500, that 700 horsepower V8, supercharged V8, and threw it in the Raptor. So now the Raptor R has the 5.2 liter supercharged V8. It makes 700 horsepower, 640 pound-feet of torque, and it is just an absolute beast. I'm very much excited for this.
Pretty heat.
There's well,
that's pretty.
You're going from 450 in the regular Raptor to 700 horsepower.
Like, this is kind of Shelby-ish Roush numbers, is it not?
Oh, it's the GT500 engine. It's the Shelby engine.
Oh, it is.
It
is.
is.
I just mean like it seems.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Like one up trim almost. So this is
Pretty
this
much.
is, to be clear, this is a Ford trim. This is
This
not
is
a
a Ford.
Shelby,
No.
Shelby offering.
No, this is coming from factory. Granted, MSRP is like $110,000, which
I mean, honestly, for like if you look at dualies and stuff like that, it's really not that
not that
outrageous.
different. Yeah,
Wait,
you
like,
get an
it's kind of
F450
pathetic
dually
to
platinum,
say-
and it's the same price.
Yeah, like I don't understand how 110 grand gets you a truck. Like you think about how many sports cars you can get. Anyways,
Anyway, I'm very excited for it. There's a couple videos out on it, but there hasn't been any full reviews on it because it was just released.
fresh, yeah.
Very fresh, but it looks good. So they didn't do anything crazy. They still have the Raptor badges, but the R on the end of the Raptor badge is red. There's a red R badge on the front. So they made it so that if you know what you're looking at,
It's
you
distinct.
know what you're looking
Okay.
at. But if you don't know, it's just another Raptor.
Okay, it's not
which
too
is nice.
crazy. All right, so
It's-
it's a subtle distinction.
It's a subtle distinction, which I like compared to the TRX, which is just, I'm going to try and make this as big and wide and obtuse as possible.
yeah, it is an obtuse truck.
Which is, it is an obtuse truck.
Kind of, it's a decent looking truck, but I hate knowing all those things. What's
Yes.
the other car you were talking about? There's another one, right?
There is another one.
Okay.
So we're very much switching gears, pun intended, to a hydrogen electric vehicle.
What? Really?
Yes. So
Has that been done? Hydrogen electric?
electric. It has been done. I think it was done in Europe. There are there's one or two Toyotas available in the States, like in California, that are hydrogen vehicles. But the range is very minimal. So
Now, are
this
those
one,
true hydrogen though, or are those hydrogen?
hydrogen electric.
Okay.
So it's basically a hydrogen generator on board that generates electricity to increase the range.
Oh, so it's not like a dual engine system,
No,
much like
no.
gas and electric would be, where
No.
there's basically two different means of.
It's basically like the Fisker Karma with hydrogen.
So it's more of a generator.
It's more of a
onboard
generator. Exactly.
Okay, that's okay. Sure. All right.
So the brand that this vehicle is Hyundai.
We just ripped apart a Hyundai.
We did just rip apart a Hyundai. But I think this is one of the coolest concept cars. It is the N-Vision 74.
Let's see.
671 horsepower.
What? Ooh.
Yes.
It looks like, I don't know, very old but new.
Yes. So styling cues have been taken from the Ioniq 5. And when this was designed, it was designed as kind of like a resto mod revision kind of,
Which I can see that.
remake of the 1974 Hyundai Pony concept. And that was designed by, I'm going to mispronounce his name, by Giorgetto Giugiaro, that Italian guy who designed the DeLorean.
Oh, that guy. Oh,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to say it did look a little DeLorean-ish, the way it's kind of squared off. Almost.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, so it's a 671 horsepower hydrogen fuel cell powertrain. So basically, it's to the point where if it was a pure electric, it'd have like 30 miles of range, but with the hydrogen boost, you get quite a lot more. I don't think there's actual numbers released. There might be. I haven't been able to find any, numbers of actual range on it, but I think it looks absolutely phenomenal.
It's tremendous.
And the reason why I'm so excited for it is a lot of car enthusiasts, including myself, and I'm sure, Jason will agree with me here, when it comes to electric cars, we were worried that they were all going to be boring like the Nissan Leaf.
Dorky, yes.
And this has proved that they aren't necessarily all going to be like that.
They don't have to be.
They don't have to be.
No, not at all. I mean, so this is a production car.
No. This is concept.
This is just a concept.
This is just a concept.
Okay. Yeah, it seems too good to be a production car. Yeah.
Are they gonna make something like this in the future? Most likely, because the Ioniq 5 looks great. And then they ended up releasing a second one alongside it. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, whatever.
But it looks really cool. If you've seen the N74, I'm sure you've seen the other one.
Yeah.
But then they ended up releasing the Ioniq 6. So the Ioniq 5 has that kind of retro styling. The Ioniq 6 is kind of like a teardrop shape. The back of it kind of looks like a Mercedes, but it looks really cool. Like it's a genuinely interesting looking car. But it's kind of like a sports coupe kind of look.
It looks like an egg.
It does. And that, granted, that's mainly for aerodynamic
It looks like somebody
purposes.
stole the front of it off of a Model 3 and the back of it off of some sort of demented Porsche.
And it kind of looks like the Mercedes AMG GT 63 back end.
Also a perverted egg car.
It is.
Or
yeah.
no, not the... I was thinking of their stupid
Which
electric thing, Mercedes electric car.
Oh, the EQS.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks closer to that.
Oh.
No, the GT thing. I actually don't mind it. There's a weird back on it, but no.
The EQS is an egg.
Perverted egg car.
It is a perverted egg car.
Terrible. I hate it.
Just the looks of it. I'm sure the actual stuff.
It looks like a Kit Kat chunky version of a Volkswagen Beetle from this picture that I'm looking at.
Oh my God.
Kit Kat chunky. It's elongated. And then they just stole a couple features from other cars. It looks silly, but no, it is a good look at the future of electric cars, and they don't have to be boring, and there can be some very interesting takes on them. I think the hydrogen idea is quite good, but I still have a lot of issues with hydrogen.
I still think synthetic fuels are the way to go.
They are, and I just have a lot of issues with hydrogen. I know they're getting better at storing it safely inside of a car. It's just so dangerous.
It is.
Like the whole process, right? I believe I'm right in saying you are not able to refill your own hydrogen-based car.
Yeah, you can.
I don't believe you're able to self-serve. I think it has to be. Are
you sure?
I believe it has to be a full service thing. It was in Europe when it first came out. You were not allowed to fill your car with hydrogen yourself. It had to be done by somebody with, I don't know if you have to be trained for it, but somebody from a Shell, gas station. I'm almost certain of that. It might have changed, but when it first came out, that's what you had to do.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was so dangerous. It can be
extremely dangerous.
It was, yes.
So, it can be. I think even still, it's less dangerous. I know there's better procedures in places, and there's better ways of doing it. I won't get too deep into it, really. I still think synthetic fuels are the way to go. I think this is proof that we can have all of these different methods of energy in the same place.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. It's a very differently exciting time for cars, and I hope synthetic fuels pull through and we can keep all of the big smashing V8s. And I believe if that does happen, I want to talk about this on another podcast, but I think if synthetic fuels find a way to be mass produced, we're going to see V10s, V12s back in motorsport.
Did you hear about what Pagani said? Is Pagani has completely thrown their electric vehicle research out the window to focus on making V12s.
Shut up. Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I did not hear about... I saw the Huayra R videos that have been making the rounds this week. And let me just insert a soundbite. Let's wait. Jesus,
so
man.
insane.
It sounds better than the Zonda R,
It
kind
does.
of.
It does.
It sounds a lot cooler for some reason. I can't understand why.
And that's saying a lot because the Zonda R is one of our favorite sounding vehicles
5
ever.
all time,
Ever.
I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't even want to make that list right now, but it's top 5, and it's not 4 or 5.
No.
Like, it's up there. So, man, I don't know. It's a pretty cool car. So it is interesting that they are completely abandoning their electric stuff, because electric is
At the moment.
Still a very good companion to drive in, like, wheels independently.
Yep.
It is.
I think it's a good addition, but I don't think it's there for the sole powertrain yet.
No, I don't really know how it's going to go yet. And if you can do synthetic fuels and keep the V12,
why not?
It just makes more sense. Like,
why
for
not?
so many reasons. So, and that's why people buy those cars, by the way, is the sound. That's the main selling point. So, anyways, yeah, very cool stuff. But that is a car I very, very much like.
Yes. We're going to be moving from cars we very much like to cars we do not like.
Yeah. It's my pick this week.
It is your pick this week.
Yes.
And we've discussed this before, just so we kind of know what we're getting into. We're not getting into something nice.
No.
What's your pick this week, Jason?
My pick this week for Fuck That Car is none other than the immaculate, and by immaculate, I mean terrible, Jeep Patriot. Oh my God, this thing is so bad. You know a car is bad when right on the sun visor it has a rollover warning.
Oh, yes.
In any year past 2015.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
So,
like, oh my God.
Have you driven one?
Yes, I actually hate to admit this, but actually, no, thank God. The Jeep Liberty was the car that I learned to drive in.
Okay.
So my driving instructor had, I don't know if you've ever seen it, the one with the pedals on the passenger side.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So the brake kept sticking and everything. It was extremely dangerous to learn in, actually.
Yep.
But Jeep Liberty, probably the demented, more successful cousin than the Jeep Patriot. I hate it. It's terrible. It's boxy. It's ugly. It was built by idiots. The quality is terrible.
The quality is very terrible.
I would not be shocked if somebody told me it had asbestos in it. That would make complete sense.
Yep.
Like, it's so stupid.
It has asbestos. It's painted with lead.
Yes, it just looks like...
Yeah.
It looks like something you'd find at a garage sale. Like, it's just this...
They're noisy,
like,
they're
it was
tinny.
Obsolete the moment it hit the dealership.
Yep.
I don't understand. If you look on Auto Trader or any of that crap trying to find a car, it's just flooded with these miserable little things where it's like, I want to be a Jeep.
And
when
they're
Jeep people
cheap.
hate them, when Jeep people hate them, and they're really stupid, and Jeep people don't like that Jeep,
Yes.
there's issues.
Yes.
There's a big issue. Because
big
those
issue.
people like just these demented, stupid lift things with no ride quality or like safety elements. This is just a dangerous, slow, unattractive, uncomfortable, poverty death trap of a car. And if you bought one new, or you know somebody who bought one new, I would look in for underlying issues, because we're either talking school shooter, we're talking murderer, we're talking, I don't know, what are other bad things?
I was going to say preteen girl trying to get her first car, and her dad's like, I'm going to buy you a Jeep Patriot because they're Ford.
There's no chance. That title is reserved for the Mazda 3, Honda Accord.
And the Ford Focus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Done. Cobalt and Chevy Cruze actually way more.
Yes.
But no, this is just a terrible, terrible car driven by people, and they've got something. They're hiding something.
They are hiding something.
You are up to something. If you drive a Jeep Patriot now, you're up to something. And if you bought one new,
you do fentanyl.
Something. You either do fentanyl, you're locked up, or there's some other underlying issue, or like you were a horse girl or something when you were in public school.
Oh no.
There's something up about you. So
Jeep.
I hate that
the
car.
The
and they're
Patriot,
always silver.
Patriot
What's
girls.
up with that? They're always silver, or the stupid burgundy too,
or black. I've seen a lot of black ones.
there's a lot of black ones.
Black,
I always end up seeing
silver,
silver,
burgundy.
the stupid burgundy one.
Yeah.
Burgundy car new from the factory. Oh my God. Why don't I just flush my money down the toilet? Imagine optioning that and it costs money too. I'd throw up.
Yep.
Oh. No, I really, really hate that car.
One of the things about the Jeep Patriot is Jeep drivers very much like making their vehicles more unsafe. They like lifting them. Mm-hmm. They like putting bigger tires. They like taking off the doors. They like taking off the roof. They like making it look angry. They like making it look stupid. Jeep drivers are one of the worst drivers out there because they try and specifically make their vehicle worse. And you know it's bad when those drivers don't like the Jeep Patriot.
Yes. Jeep drivers are committed to making their car as terrible as possible.
Like putting showers on the outside.
Humanly possible way. I want the aesthetics to be as ugly as possible. I want a mad whittle Jeep.
Yep.
I want it to have terrible ride quality. I want to feel every single thing. I want the entire structure and structural integrity of the car to be centralized entirely on the 6th and 7th vertebrae in my spine. I want terrible road noise so I can't have a conversation. I also want to take said doors off so I can really get that treadwear, really
noise.
Listen in on
that. Yeah.
I want to have terrible emissions. I want to get terrible fuel economy. I want to have maybe piston slap if I'm feeling adventurous. I want to get mud all over the side of my leg. I want to never be able to take my pets in it. Or if I do, put some sort of catch fence in. I want to be able to tow things out because they get stuck because I go where there aren't roads for some reason.
You know what's crazy? There are roads that cars can drive on. And Jeep drivers are like, hey, this was made for driving. I'm going to ignore this.
Really? There's roads?
There's roads.
I didn't know there was roads.
You must be a Jeep driver.
I thought I was just, the thing is, I've just been driving around fields aimlessly for the past 12 and a half years.
Okay. Do you drive a 2011 Jeep Wrangler with an angry grille?
I don't.
You don't?
But maybe that's why it hasn't been as fun.
Oh, that's probably why.
That's probably why. Wow. I mean, the last time I ran through a cornfield, I was wondering, like, Jesus, I'm really getting a lot of corn stalk stuck in the grill of my car.
Yeah.
If it was higher,
maybe
it was more angry. If my car was a little angrier, I'm going to go through the cornfield. Like, maybe it would have done a better job.
Maybe if the entirety of the car was painted in Line-X.
Oh, that's what I should have done. Oh, can you ceramic coat Line-X?
I don't know, maybe.
I can't ceramic coat my car. I'm a Jeep owner. I want as much filth.
Oh yeah, no. You want the filth to be caked on.
I want more filth. Is there a negative ceramic coat? Can I somehow get
sandpaper?
Sand my car down.
Sandpaper.
That's even better.
Maybe
I'll just sand my car down.
Maybe if you cut the exhaust and have it hanging in the middle of the axle,
yes,
that could be a way.
Just in the middle of the car.
Just in the middle of the car. Maybe if you reroute it into the cockpit, you're going to get some fumes, and that might help you make decisions on what to do next to your Jeep. Maybe if you have one of those little electric Barbie Jeeps, but it has 6 wheels instead of 4. Maybe if you put that in the back of your Jeep, it'll weigh it down to give it more traction.
Right.
Yeah, and then it can just come right through the vents, and you can use it as like a defrost thing.
Right. Okay. So almost like you can have like a slider on like moderate.
Yeah. Like
carbon monoxide coming through said vents.
Yeah, like one of those cars from the 70s where, you have the hot and the cold. Only on Jeeps, it's, minor carbon monoxide or a lot of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right. And then that gets all of that pesky snow off of the front windshield.
Exactly, yes. Right. And it also makes you want to do more mods. But one of the wonderful things about Jeeps is there's showers attached to them. So if you get too much carbon monoxide, you can take a shower and kind of, get some of it off.
There's probably still maybe a little dryer connected to that with some carbon monoxide because you don't want to get rid of all of it.
No.
And then that in turn makes you can you have too much carbon monoxide poisoning? Like what happens if you have a lot?
Oh, it's a Jeep thing.
Oh, I see. So if you have a lot, then you buy a Jeep Gladiator.
Yeah. Yeah. The more carbon monoxide poisoning you have, the more
you want to buy a more and more
buy.
Perverse Jeep.
Exactly.
Okay, so when people say it's a Jeep thing, it's really just
carbon monoxide poisoning.
It's really just carbon monoxide poisoning.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm a Jeep guy. Now I'm a Jeep guy.
Now you understand it. Now you understand. You understand the lifestyle of a Jeep owner.
So I'll just stand behind my car for a little bit after the show, and I'll just crisscross my legs. Yes, I'll put my face directly next to the exhaust of my car.
Yep.
And I bet you by the next show, I will be the proud owner of a Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, most likely.
I think so.
And maybe if you're lucky, what you'll do is you'll get like a 2011, 2012 Jeep Wrangler, and you'll put like bad boy stickers on the side of the hood. You'll do if you're lucky, you'll get one of those like angry style Jeep grills. Ooh. You put one of those big like metal push bars on the front with a winch attached to it.
What about a winch?
Yeah, winch attached to the push bar. Not attached to the chassis, just the push bar.
Man, I need to get cracking on this. That's a good thing my car has dual exhaust.
Oh, good thing. You can double dose.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm going to even throw it in the garage. I'll put the garage door down.
There you go.
Perfect.
Garage door down, crack a window.
A little bit. Again, moderate. I want to mimic that moderate setting.
You want to get into the moderate now so that you can get into the perverse.
Right. So it's almost like a microdose of it's a Jeep thing.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Well, after that rant, it is important to note that we were at some sort of demented Jeep car show in London.
It was the Jeep Invasion 3.
Yes. I would be hard pressed to know what the difference was between 1 and 2 because, I mean, dear God. It was just a mess. And everything we just ranted about there,
we saw.
I mean, we saw. Like, that was...
I think one of the highlights of that was we got to see what Jeep ownership is really like, and the amount of people that came with lawn chairs and coolers and Barbie Jeeps and dogs and everything. Like, it was full lifestyle event.
Like drones and
there was drones,
like the RC cars, and which is like not out of place.
It wasn't RC cars because there was carbon monoxide poisoning involved. So it was RC Jeeps.
RC Jeeps. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. It's a Jeep thing. Man.
It is a Jeep thing.
This. I got to get in front of my car a little bit here. But no, people had some really weird things. They had I saw a couple plush dolls. There was a lot of colored LEDs, which I was not a fan of.
There was a pink Jeep with colored pink wheels that were a different color and pink and metallic.
And they were metallic and the body wasn't.
Yeah.
There was a lot of issues, and it was pretty much the same person walking around, pretty much. Somebody with a high-vi and then camo pants. That was something I saw. Do you want to be seen or not, man? What the hell?
I lost count of the amount of Pit Viper sunglasses that we saw there.
Yes, and it was not a welcome sight. I do not mind the Pit Vipers, but these were not wearing them ironically is one thing.
Wearing them unironically is another.
Wearing them unironically and being somewhat decently, wearing them with a polo is objectively the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Yes. And I saw that at least 3 times.
Yes. But it wasn't just disgusting. Any polo. It was a Jeep polo.
The one guy did have a Jeep
polo. The one guy did have a Jeep polo.
Yeah. I think the other guy had a Pepsi one on or something. It was very odd. But no.
There were Jeep T-shirts sitting on passenger seats.
Oh, dear God, dude! There was literally
one Jeep that I very much enjoyed, and it was an old Jeep C5. Kind of it was the red one. It was the red one that had the slight lift.
It was tasteful.
It was
It was a touch too much chrome for me, but it was still nice.
It was the most tasteful mod Jeep there. Or
it was if you're a really, really old school guy, it was like a Fantasy Island Jeep.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was nice. I didn't mind that.
You know what I didn't see? I did, and I was kind of surprised by this. I didn't see a single Jurassic Park Jeep there.
Man, that is a good point. If you do a Jurassic Park Jeep, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I got to say. Because that wasn't a ridiculously modded out car. It didn't look outrageous or anything. It's kind of just a tasteful red Jeep.
Yeah.
Right? Or was it yellow?
It was, no, I think it was red. It was either green or gray with red. There was red on it. The wheels were red, but yeah.
Regardless, it wasn't objectionable enough where I was disgusted by it, and I think that's probably what you should do.
Yeah, but there wasn't a single...
There was a lot of monster logos. It was big, tough Jeep, big PP Jeep. It was stupid.
Bad girl Jeep.
Bad girl Jeep. Jeep thing.
Big girl summer.
Maverick.
Big girl winter.
Yeah. It was... disgusting, and we stumbled on it after Porsche Cars and Coffee, and it was really exciting to see how the other half lives, and the other half apparently lives in carbon monoxide poisoning.
They do
constantly.
Yep. And I think it was the realization for Jason and I, because we were driving away from Cars and Coffee, and we're driving up, and we see this parking lot full of Jeeps, and we both kind of had a moment.
Not a word was said.
Not a word was said. We got to the point we were just about to pass it. We both turned and looked at each other at the exact same moment, made a face, and proceeded to slam on the brakes and pull a U-turn to attend this event.
And by slam on the brakes, I mean traffic behind us, and we halfway got into an opening and just went beeline, pretty much into a curb.
Yep.
And just turned around in 6 lanes of traffic.
We did 100%.
No business doing so.
No.
Proceeded to walk over and then verbally assault every car we walked by within earshot of every single owner. And it was a good time.
It was.
At the time of listening, you should be able to see a couple snaps on the story of this.
Yep.
We're going to have a couple more videos coming out, like, of us just doing nonsense at this thing.
Yep.
It was almost more fun than Cars and Coffee.
Almost. In a very strange way, yes. I think we're going to have a couple TikToks up, a couple Instagram reels.
It was too good.
It was too good
for all of the wrong reasons. It was just disgusting. But
I mean, the purpose of this was just, Jeep Slander. It's fun.
Jeep Slander,
Donut does it.
Donut. Shout out Donut. I mean, they
do it the best. I mean, Instagram.
They do.
Admin does it the best.
What I say is, Donut, keep up the Jeep Slander.
Keep it up, 100%.
It is the temple of Jeep Slander, and I quite enjoy it. It is a safe space for those that want to rip it apart. It is a safe space for those without the carbon monoxide vents. So, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm about it.
I think, I think that's it for this week.
I think so.
There was a lot of stuff that we went through. We were involved in. I mean, the IMSA race, the Cars and Coffee,
yep.
the ripping apart the Jeeps.
Yeah, we did an eventful little bit here. That's for sure.
It has been.
Yeah, and an eventful couple weeks coming up for Forza.
Very much so.
So it'll be nice to switch gears. Really,
pun intended.
Pun intended. Yeah.
But next time you're going to be listening to this, the Hot Wheels car pack is going to be out. We're going to have some more information on that, kind of like the feel of it and how it is. Some, a little bit of a review based on that expansion, which I'm excited for.
It'll be a very focused podcast next week. It'll be,
I think it'll be the most Forza based podcast we've done.
It'll definitely be the more serious of the podcast we've had as well. Yeah. So, with good reason. This is a big pack. This is a very important, much like the Lego one. It was a very important, or the one after the Lego one, I should say. It was a very important pack to determine where is this game actually going. Yeah. Because it always seems like it's going to go a direction we think it's going to, and then it changes.
And then it does change direction.
So it's just, this is a lot of good that we're seeing, especially with the map. The map looks crazy.
The map does look really cool.
So it's going to be important, and we're looking forward to it. And yeah, it'll be one to listen to for sure.
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully by next recording, we'll know or should know a date for the next Porsche Cars and Coffee, which is going to be happening in August.
It should be mid-August.
Mid-August, probably around the 17th to 19th-ish, depending on where the weekend falls.
That'll be a good one to come visit us at as well. Yeah. We're going to be super tied in that September one. We'd still love to see you. We're still definitely going to be able to interview a couple of you.
Yep.
But I would say very good chance next month if you go. I mean, that's going to be our focus, is talking to you guys. So.
Yep. Because we want to hear your perspective.
Yeah.
I know that the Instagram lives that we've been doing recently haven't been super long. I want to get into like a more of a full length Instagram live during the August one, and just kind of respond to you guys during the questions. Like kind of
we're gonna pump it up a little bit better so you know it's coming.
So you know it's coming. Yeah. We're gonna be posting on the story, letting you know when we're gonna be there, when we're gonna be live, and kind of showcase the cars, and again, get you guys involved, because as much as this is, the Forza World podcast, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and we want you guys to be just as involved as you can be, just as involved as we are.
I think what we'll do is we'll give something away during that stream.
I think so.
And,
that would be cool.
You watch the whole thing at the end. We're going to pick somebody who's still, kicking around, and we'll give you something. Yeah. Either maybe a pack, maybe a little Hot Wheels pack or something, maybe a shirt. I don't know. Yeah. Probably easiest to do codes. So something to look out for sure. But Cars and Coffee next month's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. But thank you very much for joining us on episode 6. Jason, do you have anything else to say to close this off?
No, I don't think so, man. I think we're good for this week. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you everyone for joining us on episode 6, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.